Hi, this is Jim from Vaudevisuals. I'm here with Matthew Silver, and we're here to talk about his work, both in the street and in the clubs, and in the world. It's quite an extraordinary undertaking what you've been doing for the last umpteen years. I mean, I don't know how many years you've been started performing in the street many years ago, but let's hear about like when you started working in the street. Was that the original beginnings of your performing career?
I guess the beginning would be during high school. It would be during the crowd intercession. They'd have everybody out on the bleachers, and as one of the average class clown, I would jump up in front of the bleachers and act all silly in front of people, and it was, to me, it was exciting because I had the opportunity to give people a show, you know, and then as a joke, people would throw their quarters, their lunch money at me.
The
So it
beginning.
was a show. That's the show, you know. That's how the shows were run. So
That's how it starts.
more or less, that was my beginning.
That was the
That's
beginning in high school. Oh my gosh, it goes back. Yeah, amazing. So the news. I've been reading a lot of the news articles and videos that people have made with you, different interviews that people have done with you, and different newspaper articles, and I've seen different titles like Cosmic Trickster, which I love. Cosmic Trickster. I like that one. That's really quite fun.
yeah, that's a fun one.
That's a good one. And then it's one of the articles cited that you received a grant from Franklin Furnace. Can you tell us about that?
Yes, that was probably my biggest achievement for being the village idiot. I received money from Franklin Furnace. It was a, it was like $3,000, and it was a nice month or so where I was just mostly just performing on the street, and I mean, I didn't have to worry about money in my bucket. I did make a big event about it. I It was just the beginnings of live stream, so it was kind of cool. I I made this whole public live stream event. You know, a few thousand people saw it online. Um, so I don't know
Yeah.
if that answers your
Yeah,
question.
yes, it does. Now the other thing I wanted to ask you about was the videotape words of wisdom from an unexpected citizen that got hijacked and made into other. I mean, evidently it got like thousands of views when it was first online.
That's correct. Yeah, yeah. The original video was shot by this high school student. He called it "Words of Wisdom from an Unexpected Citizen," and that video was taken and then it was reshared on this other social media site called Reddit. Have you ever heard of that?
Yeah, I know Reddit. Yeah,
So when things get shared on Reddit, they get shared even more and whatever. But I mean, this is all stuff that was like it's changed. This was in 2014. Now it's very different how things go viral or whatever. But what happened was these other sites that are trying to brand their name, they rip off other people's videos, and they still do it, and they put it on Facebook, and Facebook is not such a great social media. Like YouTube was the first one, it was the biggest one, it was the best one, and then Facebook came along, and they made it easy to rip off people's videos from YouTube, and then you put it on Facebook video, and then it doesn't get shared that much on Facebook. You know, it's just so yeah, yeah, it was a video captured by a high school student and they ripped it off on a Facebook, and they titled the video "Words of Wisdom by a Mentally Insane Person."
yeah. So they changed the title in the context of the whole intention of the video.
Right, right. And then you have a title like that, and they're like, this insane person said that. It's so enlightening. Oh my God, this insane.
Yeah.
And then lo and behold, everybody thinks that I'm putting myself out there as a crazy person to make money. And no, I'm putting myself out there as a clown to promote, silliness and farting. And the clown has always been taken a hard toll on. Whenever I try to promote my show now for this clown show, everybody goes, clowns are scary. Clowns are scary. I really enjoyed Stephen King's The It, but the after effects of what he did for us.
Right.
And now I'm a scary clown. Look at me. I'm scary.
Yeah, you're hardly scary. I mean, no kidding.
That's I don't know. Clown. There needs to be a symbol out there. It's part of life. There needs to be a silly symbol out there.
Yeah, I mean,
and then the silly symbol, which is the clown, becomes, oh no, we can't trust the clown. There's scary clown.
So one of the things that you talked about in one of the interviews you did on the YouTube channels was your idea of basically promoting global meditation during your street act. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Well, I mean, the idea was a global heart awakening, maybe not meditation, but like by performing for the intention of love, I'm healing the world with love. All my work, it's funny, all my work is inspired by a woman who's running for president right now. Marianne Williamson.
Oh, okay.
Have you ever heard of her?
No.
Anyway, she wrote a book. She's not political. She's a spiritualist.
Okay.
But she wrote a book in the 90s that said, inject love into the world to heal it. And so that just got me all excited because she basically said wherever you are is basically a space for you to practice the spirit of love. I mean, and what better way to practice it as a clown, right?
Absolutely.
I took what she said to heart. I mean, it's just basically the idea of like a clown. There, I just gave you something. Now,
Exactly.
and the response is, do they laugh or they don't laugh?
Well, that's a subjective thing. Whatever. I mean, different clowns, elicit different kinds of emotions from people. I mean, that's I had heard that the reason why people are afraid of clowns was because that the Ringling Brothers Clown College. They basically taught all these young kids to be clowns in an arena, to perform in an arena with hundreds and thousands of people in the arena. A three-ring circus is in a big arena, right? So they teach them to be clowns and be very big and very expressive, and because they have to project to this big stadium, right? But then what happens? All these people graduate and they go back to their little hometown, and then they start performing at birthday parties, and they're performing like they're in the stadium, and they're scaring the daylights out of everybody. That's kind of like what I heard that was the reason why people are afraid of clowns more recently, is because that the Ringling Clown College basically produced a lot of clowns that were performing for stadiums, and they were doing it at birthday parties, and it put people.
I probably don't do that great for clowns either. I scream when I'm out on the street. I'm like, this is about love. I mean, I'm on an arena. Is Union Square is like this big arena. So
it is a big arena.
So I'm a scary clown.
Well, you can be scary, but it's in context. It's not like you're screaming all the time. I mean,
no, I'm not.
And now you're also bringing your sensibility into clubs now. You have a couple of different engagements on a regular basis in clubs. Can you talk about your gigs in clubs and the other performers that you're bringing in to perform at these clubs?
Well, I guess my performance background is started from like the underground, which is the underground is like I've just been I mean I did all these open mics, and they're a lot of these open mics are not so great. You know, you have these stand-up comics, and they're not trying to do anything different. They're just trying to do, you know, the setup, the punchline, the taglines, and they're not trying to perform their jokes either. So I mean, I was doing little shows, small shows. I've never really like the shows I do. They're not like I don't know. Am I considered a professional clown? I'm considered more of a like an amateur professional clown.
Well,
I call myself a professional clown and make myself happy because I've been doing it for so many years. But I mean, not everybody sees me as a regular, like a professional clown.
Right. Well,
But
I mean,
I don't care. You know, like my life is short. Your life is short. You gotta eventually take criticism and put it in the toilet because you got to move forward with your life. Everybody is in the same boat. You got to move forward and don't get discouraged. What are you here to do? So I'm like, you know, I'll go back to the beginning. I'll put on these little arcade shows again, like the 10-cent shows, you know, except now they're $10, you know, the price inflation station, you know. I mean, the guy's got to make money for the venue and and I want to pay a little something to the performers, you know. Right. It's not a lot, you know. It's like the little arcades is a little gift, you know, those little, ooh, you got 10 cents is the little gift, you know. So I'm going back to basics, you know. I'm putting on these little shows. They get like an audience of 20 to 40 people, you know. It's fun for me. I mean, sometimes the shows are amazing. Sometimes the show is, you know, sometimes you don't get a show that's so amazing. It's just the way it is.
Exactly.
Sometimes I pack the show with these amazing performers, and it's a terrible show. Sometimes I pack these performers that are okay and they do amazing. It's just like to me, the idea of art being great or good or bad is abstract. Like you're gonna have a day where the shows are amazing, and you're gonna have a day where, like, I've seen this already. This is stale as bread. Get me out of here. I need help. What I mean, the thing is with shows, it's not like television. Television, you could put the same show over and over again, and it'll show to different audiences, and it might be amazing over and over. A show is different. I don't know. I just like, I wasted too much of my life on television. I'm like, you know what? Let's give it back to the people.
Yeah.
You know, let's watch people again, and the kids aren't blossoming as clown acts because there's no the attention is for the television.
Yeah, television and phones. Everybody's paying attention to their phones, right? I mean,
oh look, you're such a great clown. You could entertain your people in front of the phone.
Right.
Professional. Look what I could do in front of the phone.
Nothing beats live entertainment, though. That's how I feel about it. I mean, I love photographing live entertainment. It's just very special, you know. So
yeah, I said a mouthful. I'm agree with you. It's nothing beats live entertainment because it's real people. It's real people who are we're vulnerable. We're sad. We're also funny too, but
That's right. So where are the shows that you're doing presently? You have one in the Village and one in Queens. Can you tell us about where they are?
Yeah, well, I have one show in the West Village. It's every Wednesday. It's at 220 Thompson at an arcade lounge. The guy, it's a marijuana shop, and in the basement he made it into an arcade lounge.
Nice. And then
So I'm always the last time I did a show was in it was in Brooklyn at this place called Bazaar Bar, and I did a show called Circus of Dreams. And before I went to the show, there was a calling to do a show at this place. The guy was projecting with his video equipment. He was projecting old films, variety films from the 60s, and one of them was Jack Smith. Do you remember that performer?
I know, yeah, I know his work, yeah.
So he was a different type of variety. He was a performance artist.
Yeah.
Not so much like clown, but I'm open to fusion, so I kind of see him like a clown fusion, like performance art. It's all, his first movie was that vampire movie, Flaming Creatures. You were around during that.
I was, yes. I saw the film when it first came out.
And so he's a huge inspiration for me too, because just like he was the first kind of like artist to perform it. His lifestyle was the performance.
A do-it-yourself filmmaker too.
A do-it-yourself filmmaker, and so he was doing yourself shows in his apartment and do-it-yourself filmmaker, and he's inspired millions if people see it that way. The 60s, I would say, was his almost. Him and working with who's that Anthology Film Archive guy?
Oh yes. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, the curator of the Anthology Film Archives. Yeah. Jonas Mekas.
Jonas Mekas.
Yes.
So I don't know what question you.
That's all right. We actually are out of time, so let's
Sorry about that.
I appreciate your time, and we look forward to seeing you perform Wednesday night.
Are you coming? Are you really coming?
I'm coming to shoot. Yeah, absolutely. I'll be there.
I'm excited. It's basically my attempt to bring the old with the new and the old. I feel like that's what everybody's doing anyway. Bring the old with the new and the old with the new. The show that what's his name, Victor Vargas, has been doing the show on Tuesday, the variety show on Tuesday at the Slipper Room. You've been to that as well, right?
Yeah.
So you know it all. You know it all.
I get around. I'm shooting one of the shows tonight at the clown festival. What is it? The Fizz Fest show.
It's a clown show tonight, not the clown gym show tonight.
Right, it's a clown show. It's a triple play, 3 different performers. One of them is Hillary Chaplin, who's a professional clown. She's one of the acts that's performing, and then 2 other acts are performing tonight. But I'm shooting that tonight, and then I have another 3 or 4 shows to shoot this week. But thank you, Matthew. Thank you very much for your time.
You're welcome. Thanks. This is how do I see this online?
I will send you a link when it's up, and I'll post a bunch of goodies along with the video so people can see other things that you've done, and we'll talk soon.
Talk soon.
All right.